Come on. Come on. Say hi to the people. Hi. Say hi, beautiful people. Oh. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your support. You guys are so awesome. All of y'all are like leaving these amazing comments and everything, and I get back to every one of y'all eventually. It might take me a couple days, but I always get back to you guys and, you know, respond to your comments, try to answer your questions and stuff. So if you guys ever have comments, questions, whatever, just leave them down below. So today I'm just gonna try to make this a not so crazy long video. I don't know if that's gonna work out. I kind of want to talk about, I guess, the truth about bodybuilding or the current fad / trend that's going on. So I'm going to be competing in probably a couple more shows before the end of the year. So I'm kind of starting my prep back up, slowly but surely. My hair is really tangled. Ew. So my prep earlier this year for like Australia and Phil Heath and stuff, I shared, you know, a lot of what I did with you guys, but one of the things that I really didn't share a whole lot about was how much cardio I was doing and I guess like really specific meal stuff. Now, I can't exactly tell you like what I'm eating all the time because I have a coach and I'm not going to like, that's, you know, get your own coach type of thing. Like, you don't share that kind of information, but I try to not really talk too much about my meals and my food and stuff, just because of the fact that a lot of people will say, oh, well, you're not eating enough, or like that you're starving yourself, that is so unhealthy. So I kind of wanted to address that issue because going on forward, I'd like to be like more open about what I'm doing and not have to deal with the backlash of it. I mean, I know there's always going to be that haters gonna hate kind of thing, but I guess this way you guys get more of an understanding of why I do what I do and I guess know the real truth about bodybuilding. Okay, so obviously old school bodybuilding, I hate it when people call it that because you know what? Old school is still new school. People are still doing that. They're still doing the same workout splits. They're still doing the same type of meal prep and stuff. Why? Because this stuff essentially works, okay? So when you, I mean, of course you want to incorporate new workout routines and stuff like that, but essentially sometimes you just go back to the basics because it's what works. And all of that depends on, you know, what the judges want as well, so that kind of changes. The thing of it is that lately it seems that this trend on Instagram and social media is that, you know, flexible dieting is a thing to do if it fits your macros. You know, here I am doing my prep and I'm eating 2,000 calories. What a breeze. Okay, let me stop you right there. There's two things here. One, look at those people and see what they look like on stage. Okay, so that's the first part. Look at them and look at me. They are never just as shredded, just as lean as I am. They may be competing in like local regional shows, so maybe they don't have to be. That's fine. No big deal. No, I mean, I'm not talking negative about anybody. I'm just saying these are the facts. You cannot eat. I mean, most people at the professional level, at the national level, are not eating whey powder. They're not eating protein bars because these things have extra ingredients that we just don't need. When it comes down to it, every single calorie that I intake while I'm on prep is solely to fuel my body. If it's not fueling my body, then it's getting stored away in this like extra, like, I don't need you, store you as fat, and we don't want that. So we only eat the essentials. Okay, so there's that. They're never as lean, they never look as good, and I'm not saying that they look bad. I'm just saying that at a national and a professional level, you can't eat pizza on a regular basis and ice cream every night before you go on stage. Okay, just try it that way and then try it the other way and your body will be completely different. That's all I'm saying. So there's that. Second of all, there is a very, very, very small group of people that can get super stage lean like me. They can eat a lot more calories and do almost no cardio. Like, there are those people out there, but that is not the norm. That You cannot do that. And even then, they still don't look as good. You know what I'm saying? Okay? So, another thing, this is kind of why I don't like to share like my macros or like my total caloric intake or like how much cardio I do. I'm a small person. I'm 4'11", you know, so I can't eat as much as other people. Allie? Okay, so there's nobody at the door. All right, so going into it, I've been doing this for about 4 years now. My first couple of shows I prepped myself. It was a bit of if it's your macros kind of thing that I started out with. And over time you get leaner and leaner as well. So you can never compare your first show with someone's 15th show because your body's completely different. Okay, so then I joined Bombshell. And I was on Bombshell for a couple years. That, my friends, is the bad side of bodybuilding. When I was with Bombshell, the answer to everything was, okay, here's more cardio, and let's take away some of your food. That's not the way you want to do it. Those are the kinds of things that you want to run from. There were points in the time in my prep that I was doing 3 hours of cardio, and I'm not a quitter, and I'm one of those people that says, I looked my best because I did 110% and I did everything I was told. So if someone told me to do it, I would do it. If someone told me to eat dog shit because it's gonna give me a shredded six-pack, I might just do it, okay? Because in the end, I know that there's no doubt in my mind that I followed everything to the plan and I couldn't have given any more than my 100%. Like, I gave it all, you know what I mean? So I did what they told me to do, and sure, in the beginning, I got my pro card, I got super shredded, I got super lean, I did look great, but then you hit a wall. And when you hit that wall, they don't do what they're supposed to do. Instead, I got to the point where I was doing 3 hours of cardio, they kept taking away my food, I was at like 900 calories and like 50 grams of carbs, and I was gaining weight. I could not prep for a show. I tried for 10 weeks to prep for a show, and I just kept gaining weight. My body did not change. It wasn't responding. So those are the types of things that you want to avoid. No one should be doing 3 hours of cardio. If you're doing 3 hours of cardio, something is wrong or you're eating shit on the side. So be honest with yourself. Okay, so then I left Bombshell and I found Dan, D4. He's my coach now and he's very familiar with Bombshell prep. And as soon as I started prep with him, the first week was an unbelievable change. I had so much more food. I was eating so many carbs. I was scared. When I got my plan, I was like, Dan, are you sure I should be eating this? I'm going to blow up like a balloon. Because it was so many carbs. It was more carbs than I had ever eaten with Bombshell. So my body completely changed. It reacted in a positive way. I was doing half the work. It was just unbelievable to me. And when I post, I still do 2 cardios a day. When I'm on prep, I have to do 2 cardios a day, and most people do. However, my cardio is low intensity, steady state cardio. It is fucking easy, okay? I sit on Instagram, I watch YouTube, I watch Netflix. In the mornings, I have to suit up with neoprene and hoodies and stuff to get a sweat on because my cardio is so easy. So when I post that I'm doing PM cardio or something, it's bam, blows up on Instagram and people are like, oh my god, you're doing 2 cardios, why are you doing so much cardio? People, you comment and say how fantastic I look when I get on stage, that is why, okay? And I don't care who you are, that's what you have to do at a national and a professional level to get that lean, to get that tight. My ass does not shake on stage. I could try to shake my ass and it won't shake. Why? Because I did my cardio. So the same thing with my macros. Even on this prep with Dan, eventually you do have to drop down, to not super healthy, long run levels, okay? So this is short periods of time and then we go back up. He puts in more food. I have these breakfasts that sometimes I have to take a break from eating breakfast to finish eating because I get so full, okay? So you can't judge every method. You can't, this trend of if it's your macros and if you're doing more than 30 minutes of cardio like 3 times a week. You know, you should not be doing that. That is total BS, okay? First of all, some people can do it and some people can't. And I can tell you that being a small person, can get really lean and really, really shredded, but I have to do the work and I have to get my calories down low. That's just it. If I don't do that much, I won't be as lean and I won't be as tight. I'm not like Buff Bunny. I've seen her YouTube videos and she eats like 2,000 calories a day and she's like the same size as me. If I ate that much, I would like blow up like a balloon. Now granted, what I do really want to work on is having a longer off season this year and kind of building my metabolism up a little bit. So being able to eat a little more without gaining so much fat. And that's the struggle. I've been on prep for a very long time. I basically don't really take an off season. And when I do take an off season, I take a conservative off season so that I can gain as little fat as possible and then my preps are shorter. They're just easier that way. I like doing that. But I do this year want to focus on that. So that's definitely a goal of mine. I definitely want to increase my metabolism and my caloric intake. So I'm gonna work on that for sure. However, I will never be that person that will go on stage eating 2,000 calories a day and nightly protein ice cream. Like, it doesn't happen. And even for me, I can't eat protein like the last 4 weeks of prep. I can, but I do have bloating, and so I get rid of it all, you know? So it's so tough out there because social media, like, it's kind of like a lie, and it's just kind of like this one-sided story, but you don't see the whole thing, you know? So I post pictures up, and then, you know, people are like, oh my god, like, you're doing way too much, or like, that's so unhealthy. It's unhealthy at like long-term levels. If I were to eat 1,000 calories a day forever, then yes, that's not healthy. But if I'm doing that the last 2 weeks of prep, whatever, it's what you do. This is an extreme sport and it's not meant for everybody. So that's why I do it, because I'm kind of a badass for being able to do it. I'm just saying. And if you can do it, then you're a badass too. That's what you have to keep reminding yourself. No matter how you looked up there, if you gave, I have like acid reflux. If you gave it your 110%, like you can literally say, I couldn't have given any more, you're a fucking badass. So no matter what happened, whatever the placings were, you are a badass because you went up there and you did your thing and you gave it your best. So I didn't want to make this like video super long, so that's kind of just my thoughts on the whole like bodybuilding trend. I feel like social media is just like created this crazy whirlwind, and every time I post anything about what I'm doing for cardio or what I'm doing for eating, or like, you know, like I don't eat this or I don't eat that, and then they're like, well, I can eat like chocolate and all this shit and your coach sucks. So no, shut the fuck up. Like, really. Oh my god, F-bomb. Sorry guys. I try not to say those things on camera because I don't want you guys to think that I'm like this like trashy sailor girl or something like that, but sometimes it needs to be said. So that's my story. Thumbs up if you guys like this video. Thank you so much for all your support. Thanks for watching. I hope that this video kind of helps you guys understand more of like my lifestyle and my prep and everything, and then that way, you know, when you think that I'm doing things that are extreme, know that they're not long-term. And I'm a small person. I can't eat like everyone else. It's just, that's what it is. So with this video, I want to be able to share more of that and then more of my prep with you guys, and y'all can have that understanding in the back of your mind of why I do these things. So yeah, thumbs up, make sure and subscribe if you guys are enjoying my channel. And that way you can stay up to date. I'm trying to post a lot more videos regularly, and hopefully I'll be sharing more of my prep with you guys. So yeah, thank you all for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.